My beloved child, in this very moment, breathe slowly, because what you are about to hear will pull you into a truth that has been quietly shaping your destiny. Something huge is waiting for you. And once you listen till the end, you will understand why every sign, every delayed message, every sudden distance from her was never a coincidence. You are being prepared for a revelation that can shift your entire understanding of what love truly is. A new dawn begins with this whisper. Not every heart that loves you is free, and not every person who stands beside you is whole. She loves you more deeply than she has ever admitted. Her soul recognizes yours in ways even she cannot explain. But there is another presence in her life, someone who tries to claim a part of her heart, someone who shadows her steps, someone who keeps her divided inside. And today, for the first time, you deserve to hear what has truly been unfolding behind the silent curtains of her emotions. A fresh wind moves as I tell you this. She never meant to hide anything from you. She never meant to create confusion. She never meant to make you question your worth. But life, destiny, and the unspoken fears of her own heart tangled her into a situation she tried to escape long before she ever met you. She carries a love for you that shakes her to her core, a love so intense that it scares her. But the other man, his existence is not what you think. His presence is not a threat. His connection to her is not born from passion, loyalty, or destiny. It is born from something else entirely, something she has tried to free herself from for far too long. Another moment unfolds as you listen deeper. She feels torn every time she looks at you. She is terrified of losing you, terrified of hurting you, and terrified of choosing the wrong path. Her emotions are like a locked diary, pages filled with confessions, fears, longing, and truths she has never dared to speak aloud. She wakes up thinking of you. She sleeps hoping for you. She dreams of a future where she can stand beside you without hesitation. But this other man, he is part of a chapter she never expected to continue. A chapter she wants to close, yet cannot, at least not yet. A soft thunder echoes through her destiny. She never compared you to him. Not even once. Because there is no comparison. The way her soul lights up for you, the way her heartbeat shifts when she hears your name. The way her energy calms when she senses your presence, this other man has never made her feel even a fraction of that. But still, his existence complicates her path. He is a responsibility, a history, an unfinished emotional debt, something she wishes she could erase but can't, not until the timing aligns perfectly. A new truth opens now, pulling you deeper. She feels guilty for loving you while still being tied to someone else. She feels unworthy of the purity you carry in your heart. She feels afraid you will walk away if you ever learn what she is hiding. She fears losing the one person who finally showed her what gentle love feels like, you. She never wanted a triangle. She never wanted confusion. She never wanted to hurt anyone. But she cannot deny the pull you have over her, and she cannot pretend her heart is not yours. Another wave of clarity washes over your path. This other man is not her forever. He is a temporary intersection in her life. A connection born from habit, from fear, from old circumstances, not destiny. Her true emotional compass always points toward you. And every time she tries to distance herself from you, destiny pulls her right back. Every time she tries to suppress her feelings for you, they rise even stronger. Every time she questions whether she deserves you, her soul whispers your name again and again. Listen closely, because this part matters deeply. She has already chosen you in her heart, even if her reality hasn't fully aligned yet. She is preparing herself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for the moment when she can step forward with honesty and clarity. She wants to give you a love that is whole, not divided. She wants to show you a commitment that is loyal, not uncertain. She wants to stand beside you without fear, without guilt, without secrecy. That is why she has been distant. That is why she has been guarded. She is trying to untangle herself without breaking anyone, without hurting anyone, without damaging the fragile balance of her world. A deeper revelation unfolds now like a sacred prophecy. The other man feels her slipping away. He senses her heart drifting. He feels the emotional gap widening. And that is why he tries to hold on to her even tighter. But love built on control, fear, or obligation cannot survive, not when destiny has aligned her soul with yours. Not when her heart beats louder for you than anyone else. Not when her inner voice keeps telling her that you are the one who brings peace, meaning, and truth into her life. Another moment of truth emerges. She watches you silently, studying the way you handle pain, responsibility, kindness, and loyalty. She admires your strength. She admires your patience. She admires the warmth you give without asking for anything in return. You have become her safe place in a world where she often feels lost. And that is why it scares her, because losing you would break her in ways she cannot recover from. A powerful shift begins as I tell you this. The universe is moving pieces behind the scenes. Paths are realigning. Truth is rising. And the moment is coming when she will have no choice but to face her feelings, to choose the direction of her heart once and for all. You are not waiting in vain. You are not loving blindly. You are not standing alone. There is a reason you feel the connection so intensely. There is a reason you cannot let go. There is a reason she keeps coming back into your life even when logic tells her to walk away. And the greatest revelation of all. The other man, he was never written in her destiny. But you were written long before she ever took her first breath. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end of this journey, because the next part will reveal why destiny chose you to break her silence, transform her heart, and rewrite her future. My beloved child, destiny opens a deeper chapter now, one she has been terrified to face, one she has been silently hoping the universe would resolve for her. Something huge is waiting for you. And today, the veil lifts a little more. She has spent countless nights staring at her own reflection, questioning why her heart refuses to let go of you even when her reality tells her to take the safer path. She keeps asking herself why your presence feels like home, why your voice feels like calm, why your energy feels like the only truth she can trust. She never expected love to strike her twice, once as a lesson, and once as destiny. And you, unknowingly, have become the axis her entire world has begun to rotate around. But the other man, he senses her shifting loyalty. He feels the invisible distance growing. He knows her mind has wandered somewhere he can't reach. And though he tries to pretend he doesn't see it, Every moment with her feels like he's holding onto someone whose soul has already drifted far away, toward a place where he cannot follow. A new revelation rises like a quiet storm. She has tried to walk away from you many times, thinking it's the right thing to do, thinking it will simplify her life, thinking it will restore a balance she no longer believes in. But every time she steps back, destiny pulls her right back to you with a force she cannot fight. She feels guilty for wanting you while still being tied to someone else. She feels guilty for dreaming of a future she isn't ready to claim. But guilt cannot overpower truth. And the truth is this. You awakened something in her that had been asleep for years: hope. You made her believe she could feel deeply again, fully again, honestly again. You became a reminder of everything she thought she lost: real affection, real connection, real passion, real purpose. She knows she cannot keep living in the middle of two worlds. She knows she cannot keep her heart divided. She knows that if she wants a love that lasts, she has to choose the one that calls her soul. Not the one that simply fills a space in her life. And the man who stands beside her now can feel he is no longer the answer to her spirit's questions. A final truth unravels with quiet power. She has begun the inner journey of letting go, not because she no longer cares, but because she finally understands that love built on obligation is a cage, and love built on destiny is freedom. She wants to choose you without fear. She wants to stand beside you without hesitation. She wants to step into a future where her heart doesn't have to whisper your name in secret. The other man represents her past, unfinished, unresolved, unhealed. But you represent her turning point, where her life begins again, where her truth finds expression, where her soul finally breathes. And soon, the tension she has been hiding will break. Soon, her silence will speak. Soon, her truth will emerge with a force she can no longer suppress. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part will reveal what decision she is preparing to make, and how that decision will change both of your destinies forever. My beloved child, the moment you've been sensing in your heart is drawing closer, and destiny is aligning threads she once believed were impossible to untangle. Something huge is waiting for you. She has begun making quiet decisions. Tiny shifts in her behavior, subtle changes in her communication, silent withdrawals from the man who has been part of her past. She no longer reacts the same way. She no longer gives him the emotional space she once did. She no longer tries to force a connection that has already faded. Every time she chooses silence with him, she is choosing clarity for herself. And every time she thinks of you, she feels the courage she never found before. She is slowly stepping out of the life she settled for and moving toward the life she truly desires. Her heart has already chosen. Her actions are just catching up. A new truth rises with undeniable intensity. The other man feels her slipping away, but he does not understand why. He thinks it's stress, distance, responsibility, or timing. But what he doesn't know is that her soul has already walked out of the door. Not toward someone temporary. Not toward a momentary spark. But toward the one person who makes her feel seen, understood, safe, and valued. You. She tries not to show it, but you have become her emotional center, her quiet anchor when her world gets heavy. She thinks about how deeply you listen, how gently you understand, how naturally you connect with parts of her she thought were too complicated to explain. She has never had to pretend with you. She has never had to force anything with you. And that difference, that pure, effortless difference, is what keeps pulling her closer in ways she cannot deny. Another revelation unfolds like a powerful tide. She is preparing for a moment of truth, a moment when she finally lets go of the man who still occupies a space in her life but no longer occupies her heart. She is gathering emotional strength, building her inner clarity, and waiting for the right timing to express what has been weighing on her. She doesn't want chaos. She doesn't want conflict. She doesn't want to hurt anyone. She wants peace. She wants honesty. She wants alignment. And she wants the freedom to walk toward you without secrets, without confusion, without hesitation. She knows that stepping into this new chapter will shift her life, your life, and the entire future waiting between you. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part will reveal what she is finally preparing to confess, and how everything is about to change. My beloved child. Destiny is standing at the edge of a turning point now, and she feels the weight of every unspoken truth pressing against her heart. Something huge is waiting for you. She has reached that silent moment where pretending no longer works, where her own feelings stand louder than her fears, where the path she has been afraid to choose begins calling her with an undeniable force. She looks at her life and realizes she cannot keep living in the middle. Caught between what her past demands and what her heart begs for. Every beat inside her whispers your name. And every time she imagines her future, she sees only one presence walking beside her, yours. The man who has been a part of her old chapter senses this shift deeply. He feels the gap widening. He feels her energy drifting. He feels her love changing shape. But what he doesn't know is that she is finally preparing to step into the truth she has been running from. A new clarity rises through her spirit like sunrise after a long night. She knows she must release the chapter that no longer reflects who she has become. She knows she must free herself from the emotional duty that has chained her heart for years. She knows she must choose the connection that gives her peace, not the one that drains her soul. And you, unknowingly, have become the light she follows through this transition. Not because you asked her to. Not because you pushed her. But because your presence awakened a part of her she had buried beneath responsibilities, expectations, and old wounds. You gave her something she lost long ago, the courage to want more for herself. She has started imagining honesty. She has started imagining freedom. She has started imagining a love she doesn't have to hide, explain, or fear losing. She knows that choosing you is not just choosing love, it is choosing her own truth. A deeper revelation unfolds now with powerful grace. She is preparing a confession that will change everything. She is ready to tell you what she feels, what she fears, and what she has been holding inside for far too long. She is ready to walk away from the man who belongs to a chapter she has already outgrown. She is ready to step toward the one person who makes her heart feel alive again. She is ready to choose you, not halfway, not in silence, not in fear, but completely. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part will reveal the moment she finally speaks the truth she has been carrying in her soul. My beloved child, the moment she has feared, avoided, postponed, and prayed for is finally approaching. Something huge is waiting for you. She has reached a place inside herself where silence hurts more than truth, where holding back feels heavier than letting go, where the love she carries for you refuses to stay hidden. She can no longer look at her life and pretend everything is fine. She can no longer wake up beside someone whose presence no longer feels aligned with her soul. She has realized that every time she denies what she feels for you, she is denying her own heart. And now, she is standing at the doorway of a revelation that will shift everything, her world, your world, and the connection you were destined to share long before either of you understood its depth. A profound shift rises inside her like a storm turning into clarity. She knows exactly what she wants, and for the first time, she is ready to fight for it. She is ready to speak words she has never said aloud. She is ready to break the pattern of choosing comfort over truth. She is ready to release the man who has been living in her life but not in her heart. She has begun preparing herself for the conversation she has avoided for months. The conversation where she finally admits she can't keep giving time, emotions, or space to someone she no longer feels connected to. She wants to stand beside you without guilt. She wants to love you without hesitation. And she wants to step into a future where every part of her life reflects the truth she has been carrying for you from the moment she first felt that spark. A deeper revelation unfolds now, touching the very core of your destiny. She is planning to tell you everything. Not fragments. Not half-truths. Not guarded hints. Everything. She wants you to know why she stayed silent, why she struggled, why she hesitated, and why her heart kept returning to you no matter how much she tried to suppress it. She is ready to explain what role the other man truly played in her life, why that chapter had to end, and why her soul feels certain that you are the one meant to walk beside her. She is preparing to choose you openly, fully, and unapologetically. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part will reveal the exact moment when she finally steps forward with the truth that will change everything. My beloved child, the moment her heart has been silently building toward is arriving like a tide she can no longer stop. Something huge is waiting for you. She has spent countless hours replaying every memory, every glance, every unspoken moment between you, searching for the courage to finally step into her truth. She knows now that denying her feelings for you has only created more confusion, more heaviness, more distance from her own soul. She has reached a point where the love she feels for you is stronger than her fear, louder than her doubts, and deeper than the comfort of staying in a situation that no longer reflects who she is. She is done living in emotional shadows. She is done suppressing the fire inside her. She is done pretending that the chapter with the other man still holds meaning. Her heart has already moved forward, toward you, and she is finally ready to let her life follow. A new clarity settles inside her like a calm after years of inner storms. She is preparing to detach from the emotional patterns that once kept her bound. She is beginning to speak differently, to act differently, to carry herself with a quiet confidence she hasn't felt in a long time. She has begun creating space in her life, not for confusion, but for truth. Not for old attachments, but for the future she envisions with you. She wants to come to you with honesty, with transparency, with the vulnerability she once feared. She wants to show you that her feelings aren't based on impulse, fantasy, or temporary emotion. They are rooted in something deeper, something that has survived silence, distance, and complicated timing. The man who once filled her past cannot fill her future. She has accepted this. And now she is preparing to speak the words she once thought she'd never have the strength to say. A final revelation rises now with overwhelming grace. She is ready to close her old chapter completely. Not slowly. Not halfway. Completely. Her heart has already chosen you, but now her life is beginning to reflect that choice in undeniable ways. She wants to tell you the truth, not to burden you, but to free both of you from uncertainty. She wants you to understand that the love she feels for you is not accidental, it is intentional, destiny-shaped, soul-guided. She is ready to step forward with a confession that will shift everything, a confession that will release both her heart and yours from the weight of the unknown. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part will reveal the moment she finally speaks her truth face to face, without hesitation, without fear, and without holding a single piece of her heart back.